what do you see in terms of you're making money online? What opportunities or where do you see that landscape going in the future as well?
Yeah, so we need to start talking about what are the things that people value and what are the things that AI won't be able to replace in the near future. So if AI is going to enter a situation whereby it's going to start taking over copywriting and podcast editing and thumbnails and all these things, you're like, okay, well, maybe if I'm an editor, no offense to all the editing crew, and maybe if I'm a producer of a show that, or maybe if I'm an artist, my job is going to have to shift. So people need to understand that they need to learn irreplaceable skills. So skills that they can take and cross-pollinate in any niche. Sales, marketing, persuasion, leadership, the ability to have emotional intelligence and understand how to talk to people. These things AI can't do for you, but you're still going to have to deal with people in the short term. So most people's fundamental basic skills are not even met. We're not even talking about specializing here. We're talking about the base fundamentals of how you're going to interact in the business space. So your ability to become a professional. Most people are focused on, oh, AI is going to disrupt this. Okay, well, what are you going to do about it? You need to become better in these different areas. Sales, marketing, persuasion, networking, leadership. These are not non-negotiable. Essentials. Number 2, you need to be in high demand. So you either create demand or you place yourself where the money's going to go. We've created demand by creating content. So you can generate today massive amounts of demand through massive amounts of attention. Short form editing. You can either be an editor, make a ton of money clipping, ton of money because people want your service. We're talking about fast money right now, huh? Or you can be the person that wants to have a business or your personal brand that has content, and you're paying for what? Attention. So we have a massive attention game right now where people are exchanging dollars for attention and exchanging dollars for influence because they're realizing that the dollar is not worth as much as getting that attention and getting that currency. So it's something that people really value. The second and final part is in the digital space is there's 3 types of areas that you can service, that you can make money in. One is physical products, digital products, and services. So, for example, do you have a community or any sort of digital product? Yeah. Okay, so you have your digital product. Let's say you were selling hoodies, that would be your physical product. And then your service, let's say you host a mastermind that teaches people how to trade, right? That's your service. These 3 different verticals allow you to make money. So, for example, let's say you don't have a product and you're like, hey, Luke, I don't want to do e-commerce. Well, you can still do services online. You could still build a business on TikTok that literally shows how you cut grass and get customers that way. And you will. So you can do physical products, digital products, or services. Digital products are great, especially nowadays. We have people losing trust in institutions and trust in the school system, so they're looking for other verticals of education. So digital products, you don't have inventory. The product isn't going to rot. You don't have to manage your logistics and your P&Ls in that sense. So no inventory, no overhead. You have your digital product. Your physical product, a little bit more complicated. And then your services, anybody can get started. Flipping sneakers is service. Make tens of thousands of dollars a month. It's real. It exists. So find those verticals instead of looking at, oh, this is where you can make money. Every person is different. Everybody has a different wealth profile. The way that Warren Buffett got rich is a different way than Michael Jordan got rich, but they both got extremely wealthy. Their wealth profile is different. So instead of talking about specifics, it's, hey, what are the macro things that everybody needs to master collectively?
I think that was actually really, really interesting in terms of people should focus on themselves first, build their fundamentals first as an individual.
Yes.
Before even business related, before specializing, as you say, then get specialized and then go into that marketplace.
And money's a lagging indicator of success. You can't have the paycheck mindset and assume that you're going to get the results the next day. No, you have to become a professional. You have to feel stupid in order to become smart. You have to be a loser in order to become a winner. So if you don't go through the trenches and understand that there's going to be a period where you're not going to get paid for your efforts, you're not going to get paid for your performance. You just won't. But eventually, that will all come back and catch up to you. So you can't have the paycheck mindset. You can't be thinking that everything is going to be instant gratification. You have to build your value because you get paid in the marketplace in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve. So if the problems that you solve are big and you need a lot of value, you need to become a certain type of person to solve big problems, you'll get paid in proportion to that. If you solve small problems like flipping fucking patties, anybody can do that. You'll get paid in proportion to solving that problem, which is not very difficult. And I was talking to a very successful businessman at some point last year, and he said, you know what is about profit, Luke? He's like, you know where you find profit? In the biggest of problems. So where there's problems, there's profit. So most people, they want to make money, but they don't identify the problems that they can service and provide solutions for. So instead of looking at a problem and being like, oh, the world sucks, look at a problem, identify the gold rush opportunity in it, capitalize on it, make money, customers happy, you get paid, the world's yours for the taking.
What would you say that one of the biggest mistakes that you're seeing the younger generation making right now when they could be making opportunity?
Instant gratification. The dopamine hits that you have of how many motivational videos do you motherfuckers watch? They're all dopamine hits. You don't act on it. So everybody wants instant gratification, instant results, instant pleasure, instant love, instant success. Success is good because most people don't achieve it. If everybody was successful, then it wouldn't be worth anything. It's dope and it's worth something because it's fucking hard. That's what makes it sick. That's why people respect it. Getting rich, who gives a fuck about the money? It's the fact that you were able to do it. You come from the trenches, you get rich, respect. You come from a silver spoon, you get rich, oh, it's fine, you got money. It's a different type of game. It's a different type of vibe. And people understand that, they respect it. They don't respect the fact that you have money, they respect the hustle and who you became in the process in order to get it. Instant gratification, 1. 2, comparison. Comparison is the killer of joy. For you to be 18 years old and look at me and assume that you're going to have what I have, be who I am, do what I do, without having put in the work, the energy, the hours, the resources, the time, the experience, is not going to happen. So people are looking at the internet. They're looking at all these individuals, the supercars, the bitches, all this shit. Like, this is what I want. No, that's not what you want. That's what you've been told that you want. That's what you've been told is success. But it's not. Focus on you. What are the essential things that you need to focus on? And then I would say the final part is health. I know this is a trading podcast, but it's a big one. You need to have your temple in check. You need to have your body in check. What does a man profit if he gains the whole world but loses his own soul? Right? So if you make a ton of money, if you achieve financial success, business success, but you compromise your health, your mindset, your spirituality in the process, you lost the game.
I think that last point is the one that a lot of people struggle with. Even I've struggled with it as well. Like when you get into the entrepreneurship, and especially once you're the grinding phase, and then of course the momentum. Once that momentum's there, it's so easy to get such a tunnel vision and only focus on how do I grow as a business, how do I grow as a brand, as a person, as a creator, and so on and so forth. And then you start neglecting also not relationships, as you say, spirituality, health. It's so easy to be done, but it's so important to highlight it, I think, for sure. And one thing I wanted to ask you actually was, it's a bit of a different sort of scenario. So kind of different scenarios that we could sort of try and give some people at different levels something to think about. So let's say, for example, you've got the person who has $1,000, right, that they are able to invest or use for their growth. For them to be able to say get to $10,000, what sort of things would you do if you were in that position?
Immediately join a cheap community. Join as many free communities as you can and have your name known. If you have $1,000, you don't have much. But what you do have is a reputation. A lot of people don't invest in their reputation. Invest money in your reputation. Go get seen. Go network. Go get involved. Go spend your money. Go spend the $150, buy a plane ticket, and go surround yourself with winning people. Offer value. You know how people get networked and connected? When they are the to-go-to guy. So are you the to-go-to guy for anything? If I'm the to-go-to guy, and I am for a lot of things, opportunity naturally comes my way because I'm the middleman, I'm the gateway. So before making many sort of plays myself, I started becoming the gateway, that guy. People knew me for this. So I invested my money into my personal brand. I invested my money into myself, into my self-development. Not just my internal self-development, like my mindset, people talk. You don't have to buy a course, a single course. But what is your reputation? Your reputation needs to be untainted, unassailable, of high regard. And you achieve this through networking. You achieve this through interacting with people. This idea of being isolated online and thinking that the best opportunities come from you talking to somebody on a Discord and that that's where things are going to get materialized. Yeah, it could. But I've interacted with people in person, and the digital relationships, when kind of brokered physically, they become a lot more meaningful and a lot deeper. So when I have $1,000, I'm focused on me. I'm focused on leveling up me. You're not going to make a ton of money off of flipping $1,000. It's just simply not going to be the case. Become the person that makes more money. Once you start making a couple more $1,000, let's say you make $4,000 or $5,000 a month, now you can focus on multiplying that money. Whether you want to flip it with sneakers, flip it with, some sort of garage sale, or whether you want to trade small things here and there, it's still not a lot of money. Instead of flipping, instead of trading, you need to focus on cash flow. You need to focus on how can you build and sustain your lifestyle. And then all the excess is the money that allows you to trade. Because you can trade one of two ways. You can trade out of need and out of greed, or you can trade out of being in control. If you trade out of need and greed, the person that gets the $500 wants to flip it in a shitcoin because they have to pay for rent tomorrow. They're not going to win because their mindset, how they're trading, how they're going about it is completely wrong. If you trade out of strategy, out of your plan, you're in control. And you don't need to trade. You don't need to make that money because it's not your only source of income. So for traders, especially beginners, they don't have enough ammunition to continue playing the game because they don't have cash flow. So focus on yourself, elevate your skill sets, elevate your connections, become a better individual, make a little bit more money, have some sort of cash flow that comes in, and then your excess, you can jump into the market. I started paper trading for the first 2 years. So I paper traded for a couple of years while I was observing it. My money was quite limited. And once I began to make more money, then it gave me more freedom to position myself and make better plays.